Imagine waking up in the middle of the night, in the dead of winter, and realizing that something passed through your house. It didn't leave normal footprints, only strange marks in the snow. Food is missing. Objects have been moved. And for a brief moment, you're struck by the unsettling feeling that you are not alone. What if I told you that, in Iceland, during 13 consecutive nights, this isn't a coincidence? That it's not just a story for children, but an ancient, dark tradition tied to creatures that have watched, stalked, and invaded human homes for centuries. Who are the Yule Lads, really? Why do they always appear during the darkest time of the year? And what happens when these beings decide you deserve more than just a harmless prank? Turn off the lights. Winter is coming, and they're already on their way. In the heart of the North Atlantic, surrounded by glaciers, active volcanoes, and endless winter nights, there is a land where folklore is more than memory. It breathes alongside everyday life. Iceland is one of the few places in the world where ancient legends are still part of national identity. Trolls, elves, spirits, and mountain creatures aren't treated as mere myths, but as possible presences. It is within this harsh landscape, shaped by darkness, extreme cold, and a constant struggle against nature, that the Yule Lads emerge. Known in Icelandic as today, many see them as almost cartoonish figures, Icelandic Christmas characters who leave gifts for well-behaved children and small punishments for the naughty. But it wasn't always like this. Before the Christianization of Iceland, and long before the influence of modern Christmas traditions, these beings were seen as dangerous trolls, inhabitants of frozen mountains, direct descendants of ancient and chaotic natural forces. They were not kind, they were not funny, and they were definitely not harmless. The Yule Lads belong to a feared family. They are the sons of Grýla, a monstrous troll who, according to the oldest legends, descended from the mountains during winter to capture disobedient children and devour them. By her side stands Lepelkai, her silent and shadowy husband, a figure described as almost spectral, and completing this disturbing scene is the Yule Cat, a gigantic creature said to eat anyone who didn't receive new clothes before Christmas. A symbol of punishment, scarcity, and survival during harsh winters. But it is Grýla's 13 sons who actually walk among humans. 13 entities, 13 consecutive nights, 13 different ways of invading, each with a name, each with a specific habit, each silently watching, waiting for the right moment to act. They say it all begins 13 nights before Christmas. The first night is always the quietest. The wind blows harder. The snow seems to muffle every sound, as if the world itself is holding its breath. That is, the night Stecher Storm comes down from the mountains. He is described as stiff, with wooden legs, awkward movements, and a body that seems poorly adapted to the human world. His target isn't people, but animals. He sneaks into sheep pens, frightens livestock, and creates a silent chaos that signals something far worse to come. On the second night appears Gilgigor, the one who hides in ravines and valleys. He watches from afar, learns the paths, memorizes the routines of each household. Nothing happens immediately, and that's exactly what makes it so disturbing. As the nights pass, the Yule Lads move closer and closer to human homes. Stir, small and quick, slips into kitchens to steal pans and scraps of food. H. Forestlakia, the spoon licker, hides in dark corners, waiting for the perfect moment to appear when no one is watching. Stories say that if you wake up in the middle of the night and hear a soft, metallic sound, don't investigate. Pretend you're asleep, because they hate being seen. As the days go by, the feeling changes. It's no longer just isolated pranks. There's a constant presence. Potterskill scrapes, empty pots, producing noises that echo through the house. Askoslakia hides under beds, waiting for someone to forget a bowl of food. And then comes Hörgeskella, the most disturbing so far. He doesn't steal food. He doesn't hide quietly. His pleasure is simple and cruel, slamming doors violently during the night just to wake people and spread fear. Imagine lying in bed, deep in the night, when suddenly, bam, a door slams shut on its own. The echo fills the house. And for a few seconds, you're absolutely certain you're not alone. But the worst is yet to come. As Christmas approaches, the Yule Lads grow bolder. Skyagamma steals dairy products. Bugnakroka hides in rafters, waiting for sausages hanging from the ceiling. Glugagir peers through windows, spying on people's lives, learning who is awake and who isn't. They say that if you ever feel watched through a window on a winter night, it might not be your imagination. Then comes Kataafa, the one with the supernatural sense of smell. He can detect fresh bread from miles away. Where there is food, he will find it. But it is Ketkroka who truly crosses the line. He carries a hook, an old, curved tool that slips through chimneys, windows, and cracks in the walls. Not just to steal meat, but to test how far he can go without being noticed. And finally, on the last night, comes Curtis Nikir, the quietest of them all. He follows children, watches their hands, steals burning candles, plunging homes into complete darkness. In the past, when candles were the only source of light, this meant something far worse, leaving someone completely vulnerable on the darkest night of the year. When all 13 have passed, something changes. The house feels different, emptier, colder, and then, slowly, night after night, they return to the mountains, taking with them everything they observed. Because, according to the oldest legends, the Yule Lads never forget what they see. When the last of the Yule Lads returns to the mountains, the Icelandic winter is far from over. The nights remain long, the cold stays sharp, and it's in this post-visit silence that a question is rarely asked. What if the Yule Lads were never just mischievous trolls? The oldest versions of these legends don't speak of gifts, shoes left by the window, or harmless pranks. They speak of surveillance. The Yule Lads always appear during the most critical time of the year, when food is scarce, when darkness almost completely overtakes the day, when a single mistake can be fatal. They don't come by chance. They come to observe. Each one represents a very real fear of medieval Iceland, the loss of food, the invasion of the home, the breakdown of order, total darkness, unexpected sounds in the night, the constant feeling of being watched. The 13 do not act together. They arrive one by one, as if studying the house, testing limits, recording behavior. And then there is Grýla. While her sons invade human homes, Grýla remains in the mountains, waiting for reports. She does not descend every year, only when something feels wrong, when rules have been broken, when disobedience becomes dangerous. In the oldest stories, children were not punished merely for bad moral behavior, but for actions that threatened the survival of the community, wasting food, disobeying parents, acting recklessly during winter. To be taken by Grýla meant to disappear. There was no return. There was no explanation. Over the centuries, these figures were softened. The Christianization of Iceland and the modernization of Christmas turned monsters into folkloric characters, but the essence never fully disappeared. Even today, many Icelanders claim to feel an unexplained discomfort during December nights. Doors creak louder. Windows seem to reflect something that wasn't there before. And the silence is never complete, because legends that survive for so long rarely exist just to entertain. The Yule Lads teach us something unsettling. Not every monster needs to attack to be feared. Sometimes watching is enough. Sometimes, leaving invisible marks is worse than causing destruction. They enter uninvited, take what they want, and leave. But they leave behind doubt. The doubt that something has changed, that you were noticed, that next winter they might return with different intentions. Maybe the Yule Lads are just reflections of a harsher time. Or maybe they are reminders that when darkness takes over and the world falls silent, not every visitor leaves footprints. And maybe, just maybe, they're still out there, watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to keep exploring the hidden secrets of folklore, mythology, and legends that have survived for centuries, subscribe to Urban Secrets. Leave a like to support the channel. Share this video with someone who thinks they know all Christmas stories. And write in the comments, would you leave your home vulnerable for 13 nights in a row? Because here at Urban Secrets, we know one thing for sure. Some legends only sleep, waiting for the right winter to wake up.